Chavez, I'm coming at you. I don't know why this seems a little more toward me than it usually does. I'm coming at you today with a question about how to fix the world's issues. As many of you know, I do have a bunch of Okomi, and that should yield me probably tens of millions of dollars in the future, and I'm not 100% sure exactly what to do with it. I'm not 100% sure where we should go, because no question that there are a lot of issues that the world has, and most of us, I mean, yeah, we can donate time, and maybe some people's like their brains are really good, and they can go and help new inventions. And I'm not saying that you need to be invest in like create a new technology. I think if you're really talented at something, if you're a good writer, or if you build something or do something that people enjoy, I think that's really good too. But with me that has so few talents outside of making money, I was thinking of, okay, well, where do I put it? And I can make it all the live long day, which is fine. I'll do this again. Like when Omi hits, and it will. Like I said, this is not my first time going all in. And it has tens of millions. Okay, well, at a couple $1,000s, like, okay, you could help somebody's cat. You pay for their surgery. You could help somebody's grandma that fractures their hip, whatever. What can you do? Okay, well, maybe tens of thousands of dollars, you can fix a whole center. You could, or maybe you could. It just becomes easier to solve the smaller problems, but then, you have this much money. It can go towards something else. So I'm trying to think of exactly what the best way would be to go about it. It would be to probably, I mean, if you were to say, fast forward the clock 5 years from now, I have $100 million that, hey, Chavez, I can take half of this right now, and suddenly we have like proper world nutrition and just proper like everything, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, take it all away. And then suddenly we're all good. The whole world has, sanitation areas for their clean water, and we can all hate ourselves separately. I'd be okay, cool, let's do it. $50 million, that's all it takes. Take half of what I have at that time, and give the world clean water and internet. Although Starlink, Elon Musk is kind of doing the internet part, so I'm also be advised, guys. If this was never financial advice, this is the worst time for. If this is not financial advice, partly because I am with my good friend Lucy. You don't see her, but Lucy is all around us. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. How to best help the world? Well, if you have tens of millions of dollars, what do you do? Let's see what we got. Justin says, stop the cabal. So we're talking about the stream. Talking about what, you have money, what do you do? Piet Milum says, what's good, brother? What's going on? This is an unexpected stream. It is. At Hercules, I thought place energy build in third world countries. Okay. China has new tiny luxury apartments. That's nice. Okay, so steam energy with solar to give the light would change a lot of lives. Okay, so stream the energy with solar to give light. Okay. Light to do what? Like live light to do solar to give the light. Place energy build in third. Okay, energy. That might be a good. Okay. Like in a place like India or Indonesia or wherever the third world is. Okay. It's good. It's a good start. It's a good start. And also, I do need to be advised. Let's say like I can't just throw some. If I'm gonna go throw some money at it, I have to go and be like, okay, well, how are they doing this? Are they getting the right parts? Are they like doing like from first principles? Like, okay, energy storage. What does that mean? And then break everything down. This is what I do with investments. Okay, break everything down. Who has the best energy storage units? Who has the best? Which would probably be Tesla right now with their batteries. Honestly, probably Tesla Solar. But then you're saying just take those and bring them to there. Okay. Who has, if they have good grid function? Good thoughts. Good thoughts. I need a little more. Randy N.A. says, I'm thinking helping bring attention to our homeless veterans and campaigns to help fix that would be awesome. As a veteran myself, yeah, I would totally do that. I just a lot of that does have to be governmental though. I mean, again, I can bring awareness as much as I can wherever I go, but a lot of that, just because it would have to say like, all right, well, what's the easiest way to prevent that? It is by making sure people leave the military and they are Okay, I mean, I guess it's you can't. That's so hard. That's a good one. Because it'd be all right. Well, how does that start? How does homeless veterans start? Well, it starts probably because they can't hold a job. Okay, well, why can't they hold a job? Or they can't. They're living in an area that's too expensive for the job they hold. Okay, so maybe live in a poorer area and go and work in a nicer area to pay for the poor area, and you do that to build up some money. But a lot of veterans have a lot of addict problems, a lot of drinking, and yeah, it's so the major thing is that. I mean, the VA is always there to help, and they bless them. They try. They do not do very good sometimes. They actually sometimes might do more harm than good, but again, they try. I think President Trump had that right when he said, "Hey, we need to overhaul of this VA. It's a mess the way we treat our veterans." So a lot of that would probably come from getting the budget to do that in government. And that's the other thing, whether you're, commercial, private sector, large chunk of your change is going to come from government. So I have to kind of think about that as well. Start a good animal charity. So that's one thing that I was thinking about. Okay, we have places in Madagascar that I could do for conservation, and I could do that all the live long day, which is fine. I mean, how much is enough though? I mean, is 500,000? Not that's not enough. Is 5 million enough? Is 10 million enough? How much? Before we win? How much before we? It just seems like that's a really big battle. Which that's from the times that is 2017. Before then, when I was younger, I love animals. I will always try conservation. So I mean, I guess we break that down. Okay, well, get some animals off the endangered list. Okay, it's probably a really good idea. Someone kind of never really took that Steve Irwin stance thing. I mean, Jeff Corrin experience, Jack Hanna, Animal Adventures, but nobody ever really took that Steve Irwin mantle. I mean, you still do have the Irwins doing that. I think they already do a pretty good job with their TV show and stuff like that, and especially with Instagram nowadays. So I will go obviously partner with them and Nat Geo and be like, hey guys, a couple $1 million. Where do you need it? Best Friends Animal Society as well in the U.S. So again, that could be probably not solved, but a lot of good things can come with that. With maybe $5-10 million, which is fine. I'm more than happy to do that. And this is also hold this to me. Where, let's say I have $100 million one day. Hey, you said, yeah, exactly. I did. So a bunch should go here, a bunch should go there. And a bunch should definitely go to lots of other places too. But that's why I need you guys. Help me figure out. Relax King says hi. Maxwell Cook says you could add a few more scholarships, what you do already. Do vet school scholarships also. See, that's the thing right now. Scholarships that I have at my old high school is you're really rolling the dice on there with the kids that you give it to. Because maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. Maybe they most likely the kids that I'm giving the scholarship money to are kids that either they're going to be successful or they're not going to be with or without me. Do I help? Maybe a little bit, ease the financial burden, but you're driven to do something and you can do it or you can't. And I guess my goal here is to find the ones that already here. Hey, I'm here. I'm a good engineer. I'm a good whatever. How do we fix, big problems? I know, I think Bill Gates has tried to do that a couple of times, giving out vaccines and sending malaria. But then when he does that, he goes send malaria nets, to ward off mosquitoes. But then they use the malaria nets for fishing, and then not only do they still have the mosquito problem, but they also poison their whole food supplies. Okay, World Health Organization told them to stop helping. So I do like the idea of what's her name, Okoye in Avengers Endgame. It's Nat, it's an earthquake under the ocean. We handle it by not handling it. It's okay, it's some sound advice. So, I've been to L.A. You'll see this one street where veterans camp outside the VA shelter because they don't believe in abiding by the shelter's rules. So the vets say it's like a prison or a camp. That's what I should do. Downtown, I know there's that whole Skid Row down in LA, this really massive issue. Tent City in general is just massive. say it's like prison or a camp. So being in the shelter, I guess if those are your choices, again, being homeless or being in that prison camp thing, what do you? I don't know what I would do at that point. I don't know. I most likely, because I'm stubborn and like pigheaded, and I would just say like, well, I'm not abiding by your rules, and I'm just gonna be homeless, live in my car. I'm gonna make money some way, and then do it another. I would. That is what I would do probably if I was in that situation, but not ever. God, that sucks. So I guess a way to. Let's say it's like prison or camp, but at the end of the day, that is their own choice. Because again, if I had the choice, like, okay, I could like be cold and homeless, or hot, or that could be like air conditioning, or at least a place where there's a warm bed. Like, I would probably rather take that. Like, okay, I'll settle. I mean, I say all these, I'm pig-headed, like, oh, Mister, I can do it myself, but give me that option, and give me a couple nights of really really cold weather in my car, and warm bed. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it is their choice to do so. But I definitely do need to read up more on that, or my small as well. Lynn X says, sadly, we can't fix our world problems. People are too ignorant. At least we can improve the conditions of what we already destroyed. 10% of my only wealth will definitely go to charities. That is good. That's good. But I don't want to be one of those people that are like, oh, hey, I have like tens of millions of dollars. I'm going to, donate, like a couple $1,000s to this charity. Make me feel good about myself. And then, now I really want to, I think we do have a unique opportunity. At least me, because I'm going to generate a lot of wealth. But in general, a lot of us can. Whether you're an engineer or you're somebody that's really into coding, networking, like just... Yeah, how do you fix a lot of problems? Most likely we need engineers and coders to do everything. People that are probably really into people attached to universities, maybe. I know there'll be political strife, like, how the best way to help. But it's like not as free money, but it's like no political strings attached. Like there's no. Like Trump and Biden, or whoever, like pulling the strings. It's just me, and it's not like billions of dollars. It'll probably but at the same time, it'll still be millions, if not tens of millions of dollars that will go to a lot of this. So yeah, that's fine. But so Linux, when you said too ignorant, I think a lot of this does hinge on the fact that 40% of the world doesn't have internet. So, okay, well, you give 40% of the world, you give the rest, let's say the whole world has internet. I think a lot of these people that are, again, if you're living in a really poor off, bad way, and suddenly you have internet, and you have what was that kid that was in Africa? He just had some architecture books on how to build, like different systems, wells and stuff, and he just made his whole village better and town better. So you'd like to think that if, okay, my town or city I'm in is really not that good, how do I make it better? You can probably source that with the internet, and probably figure out how to do it. I guess my problem is, okay, well, these people need lights. Maybe boots on the ground? I don't know the best way. Saying like, hey, people here in Indonesia, here in wherever. So Lynn X, I do think that a lot of this can be helped with internet. It's like, okay, well, here's where the rest of the money probably should go. Sliden says, do you have to save the world? What if it doesn't want to be saved? Well, I mean, the world in general, it's a big thing. But, there's definitely people inside the world. Like you say, like, oh, hey, there's like 1,000 of these, like, starfish that are out, like, in their beach. They need to be thrown back in the ocean. It's like, okay, what difference does it make? There's like tens of thousands of these. It's like, okay, well, it makes a difference to this one. If the whole world doesn't want to be saved, at least you can help the people that want to help themselves, or at least help the people that want to do that type of thing. You seem like you got a good heart. I think whatever you do will help whomever you extend it to. I'm trying. That's what the brain trust is here for. You guys and me and my saltine crackers and Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. That was the other thing I want to talk about as well. Omi is not the last thing. That is the last in the last line of things that are going to be huge. But there will be something in the next 4 or 5 years. Again, will I always have land in the Weverse? Absolutely. I owe again most of the wealth that I'm going to make to Dan and David at the Okomi team. I'll do anything for them. But at some point, when everything is done, there's going to be a place where, again, mid 2020s, where I would put my money, and maybe at that point it's not with them, because again, if they maybe something changes, like no, the world is in chaos and it's safest to have stock with them. It's like, okay, probably a good idea, but I'll let you know. They are the greatest. Again, Okomi and Omi are probably the greatest investments that I see right now, and I'm seeing everything right now. If there was something else, I would do it. And it's not like I don't have. It's not like, oh, he's still running 2 businesses and he's doing whatever. No, I have nothing but time, so I do research as much as I can what people tell me, and there is no better investment right now, in my opinion. Give me another $1 million, $10 million, throw the rest of it in with Omi right now. I'm being really stupid in buying I don't want to say stupid and childlike. Buying the NFTs are an investment, and that's great. But at the end of the day, you do have, like, it's not a quick, the market is really good at that. As saying, like, hey, I'll sell it for this and I won't sell it for this. But, at some point you might have to have a negotiation if something, doesn't come out. Let's say like a Donnie or a Moogly or one of those guys, where it might take a little finance. But again, Omi is just a lot more liquid, and I do believe that Omi is going to be a lot better off for us than the NFTs. That being said, if I had taken all my $400-something thousand and put it only into NFTs earlier this year, I'd have tens of millions probably, definitely millions. And if but it's in Omi, and again, if right now, knowing what I know, give me another $10 million, most of that's going into Omi. The only reason really why I'm collecting stuff right now is partly because I'm a collector and I like sets, but also because that is going to get me land in the Weveverse. Like, that's the next best thing. That is the next best investment, in my opinion, is land in the Weveverse. Or it's the next best opportunity. Because again, you can buy a whole bunch of different land in there and not know what to do with it, and maybe it sucks. Maybe it's not good. So I'm kind of, land in general it's finite, and I do know that anywhere close to where Veve and Okomi, their main city, that's probably going to be the best part. Yeah, this wasn't meant to be an Omi stream, but I guess it is now. It says, do you have any labs from today? Yeah, I guess it's an Okomi stream. I bought all of them, yeah. This is Brandon Chavez. Charity day or week streams would be nice, where donations would go to charities. Yeah, that would probably be a good idea too. In the future. Right now it's just a brain trust thing. But yeah. When I do get big, like $1 million, be like, hey guys, I did it, and then I could go on like CNN. I'll definitely bring more attention to that. But right now, because it still hasn't hit yet, it's kind of like before the big money comes. Yeah. The IT guy says positive educational content, sharing your story, inspiring others, interviews with amazing people, coordinating Veve charitable events to raise funds. That's another good thing. But again, just raising money isn't. That's a major part of it. But it's like, okay, well, where's that going to go, and is that going to work? Is that the best idea? And again, just break it down. Like, okay, well, what are the best ideas? Okay, well, energy. Okay, well, solar panels and getting clean energy. You need infrastructure. So you need to see where infrastructure. So building all of these raw materials. Where can you get all the raw materials from? At a bulk, at cost. Are they in the country? Is it going to be cheaper for me to do it in another country where a bulk of those materials are found? And then, hire construction crew, local people that to do what they do best. I mean, there's probably millions all over the heckin' world that can do the job, but who would do it on time, under cost, and under budget with those materials. It's just a lot. It's a lot of logistics to figure out. And again, even when you find that, the energy, places to build, like companies in which to give the contracts to, that type of thing. Start planting trees. I dig that, Bad Hair Club. Start planting trees. I think, what's his name? The whole tree plant. I think Elon Musk even donated like $1 million to it. He's a big YouTuber. I'm forgetting his name right now. Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast does a lot with that. The IT guys, perhaps platforms like Veve could create charity NFTs, such as cancer charity, with proceeds going to... Yeah, that would be a good idea, too. I could definitely coordinate that with them. Ed says, bro, if you become a billionaire, let's get these homeless children off the streets. Yes. Well, see, again, if you tell me that there's, hey, you could take, right now, all the money that I have, take children off the streets, and you can take them all off the streets right now. Great. I would gladly do that, but here's the thing. That's just a Band-Aid. That's just a Band-Aid. Okay, yes, I'm all for taking children off the streets and helping community centers in any way I can, but why is that happening? What's the underlying symptom? And probably it's going to be 2 family housings, I'm sorry, 1 family, 2 parental units. Not saying that, 2 dads or 2 moms or whatever, but statistically speaking, your kids have a much better chance of not being on the streets if you are, 1, if they're with a parent, 2, if both parents are together, they're both mom and a dad. So I guess the best way for that would be to say, okay, well, don't have premarital sex, or no, don't have. That's impossible. How are you gonna do that? Don't wrap your whacker before you attack her. This whole thing is gonna be like a 1 condoms ad. Yeah, I mean, people are gonna be stupid. Just don't have kids out of wedlock. Yeah, just don't be stupid. Don't have kids out of wedlock. And then do well with that, and I think you can get a lot of not conservation, stuff like that. I don't know what it's called. Contraceptives that to neighborhoods that maybe don't have it, that don't have access to it. Like, okay, Obamacare. What do they try? Okay, free contraceptives to everyone. You want condoms? You want wherever, go, by all means, take it. It's free. I don't think you should really have to pay. For those. So, yeah, maybe I'll do something for that. In certain neighborhoods, be like, hey guys, if you're gonna do, here's some free contraceptives, and hopefully that's better. So yeah, the children off the streets is good, but again, why does that happen? And then maybe money towards, I don't know, education, schools, better schools, probably. That's a whole mess of problems. Grandmaster Wall says it's not Skid Row, but it's in West LA. You'll see that most of their tents have American flags. You can't drink if you go there, and some other rules. It's interesting. It says new James Bond drop details live. I am not in the position to be able to read anything right now, but we do have it, and I do have a request, so I'm going to honor that request, and I'm going to read this live. I feel like the Hulk or Bruce Banner's like, Tony Stark's like, hey Banner, you want a piece? Like, no, but when do I ever get what I want? No Time to Die. Okay, here we go. Well, we knew this, all right? Right, we knew this. Whiteout, that's the one that is the rare that I'm going to be going for tomorrow. That's the one that I think looks better than the No Time to Die, the ultra rare. I'm still going to go for the ultra rare anyway, but I will not complete the set. If I get it, great. If not, no big deal. I'll always be here on the lives with everybody because it's fun, it's exciting. But right now, again, if we're trying to help the world, I don't know if the NFTs are, again, great investment, and they're fun. And if you, like, personally, if you can lock up a couple of them before all this big money, yeah, it's, I do believe that the better investment is in Omi, though. I do believe that I am being selfish by completing these sets because yes, I could make the argument and say that, yeah, complete more sets, get in the Master Collector program, higher you go in the Master Collector program, the better chance you have of buying land, and okay, buying land, that will be good for future investments. Okay, I can say that stuff to myself as much as I want, but at the end of the day, it's fun. I like collecting these things. It's because I'm a kid, and I still think Omi right now is the best. That is the best opportunity. Again, just not financial advice, clearly. Galgal says, how the F did you buy 3 him? So I got him at 2,600 and like 3,400, 3,800, something along those lines. because I was like, oh, these are stupid undervalued. And I was right, they are. They still are. At like $10,000 floor. If Donnie has $100,000 floor, and has half the mints that him does, then it should be, probably twice as much. But it's not. It's like 10 times as much as him. It's like, okay, there's huge imbalance here. So yeah, I'm not selling my him anytime soon. IT guy says planting trees, Chavez Woods. That would be good. It just says I was homeless once. It sucks, bro. I was homeless a couple of times. A couple of people actually saw it here live on the channel for multiple days. Obviously, I wasn't like that for years, and I get it. It sucks. If you're a veteran, that is, you have to decide. But no, I've been homeless a couple of times. That's why I want to be that type of person that's like, okay, well, have something that should help. I mean, my one-room apartment with no bed and no AC is not that far from being homeless as it is. So yeah. Galaga says, Labbit is 1.5k. Why? The black is 3. WTF? I don't know. People like black don't crack. Well, it is series 2 out of series 1. So series 1 is always just going to have of anything. Again, the rules of collecting. The first of anything is going to be the best. That's what you want. That's what people have. So that's what people are going to do. Could have told you that. I think I did. And these are... again, these will do even better than the next ones to come. The series 3, whenever that happens. I'm back. I just can't imagine what these children are going through. Yeah, that is a lot. I guess we have to do which ones. Because I mean, again, there's people in LA, there's people in New York. Although there's a lot of homeless shelters in New York too. I guess there's definitely funds in government. There should be no lack of funds for that. I think it's just government sometimes is really stupid, and it's like, oh, let's throw this money at a problem, but there's just a lot of government waste. I think it really just needs like competent people to say like, okay, do competent things, and a lot of times government just does not let them do the competent work. Yeah, maybe we should try to do it better, more efficient for homeless people. That is not my specialty. I will try my best. If that's and that's good for the people that we can help. Yeah. All right, moving on. Terry Jones says, we need to create an anonymous group to fix problems, the bad ones, make money off of problems. If you fix, will be attacked. Yes, that is true. If you go to try to fix something and, let's say like big oil, let's say you want to say like, hey, we should stop taking hydrocarbons and putting them out, from the earth and putting them into the atmosphere. Probably not a good idea. So any thoughts on like conservation? They would be like, oh yeah, you're just a tree hugger, and it's like, and I understand that point where some people's like, do you have to, how much land is sacred? How much land has to be sacred? As I guess a hunter, conservation want to conserve it all, but what was the question again? Problems you fix will be attacked. Granted, it's worth being attacked. At least you're fighting a good fight. I mean, trying what I can. Grandma Swat says, can't drink if you go in the shelter. Yeah, it's a big one. Veterans, we like our whiskey. We like that. And I can definitely understand. Again, I was that way. 2018. Oh, tell me I can. Not that I was ever homeless at that time, but it is really never one. Like, addiction it eats your money. That is a black hole. If you could overcome it, yeah. And obviously, you go in the shelter. Hey, no drinking. How long before you withdraw from that? I don't know. Need more mental health professionals here. Jameson Cobb says, I don't live in a city where all the fast 5G towers are. Neither can I get fiber optic. Okay, only one link says, I always wondered why we can't plant fruit trees like apples on every street corner to solve 2 problems at once. Let's say, a tree so yeah, it might give some fruit. How good is that fruit? I remember having an apple tree in my yard when I was a kid. You could not eat those. They were just a pain. Like, that just caused litter and stuff for people. Now, were they homes like for birds and stuff? Yeah, sure, that's fine. I do think that New York City has, even though it's a cluster fudge of concrete jungle, but it does have, the whole nature there. And it's, miraculous that a whole nature preserve there, like the Central Park, just exists to begin with. In the midst of all that, um, that is pretty awesome. That they wound up doing that. Um, yeah, maybe something like that would help, because again, it has to be the right type of. I guess, who do you need? Botanists come in and be like, hey, we need the right type of tree and soil for this fruit to give us all good stuff. Jameson Coffee says Omi will collapse if it doesn't create a fairer system for drops. Same people getting secret rares. I haven't gotten any of the. Oh, I did get an ultra rare, the poster yesterday. But as far as all the comic drops, I haven't gotten any. The lab is today. The app crashed for me, so it is not all the same. I mean, do some people have all the luck? Maybe they do. At the same time, it is. I'm here. I haven't had too many luck with the drops. I'm still here. I won't. I don't think Omi would collapse if this problem could become 5 times worse, and Omi would still be fine. Like, this problem could become 10 times worse with the drops, and everyone would be like, I don't. Again, what happened with Pokemon, where you say like, okay, hey, by a certain amount of packs, just to get this, this one, Pikachu delivery card, and so like, yeah, I don't care. I'll give me 5 pieces of tinfoil. I don't care about the Pokemon cards. Just give me this one card, this one Pikachu item. People do not care. They will not care that they don't get these on these drops. People will come in with money, and they're just going to be like, I'm going to get that one, get that one, get that one. Nobody's going to expect to get these on the drops except for the super, super lucky. It's going to be the same way like, Air Jordans, or, the new Nike basketball sneaker. If you really do want it, you're going to be out there at for 72 hours. If you really do want it, you're going to be there. Just peeing in a diaper. You're going to be doing whatever for those sneakers if you want those. But most people just accept that, okay, I'm not going to get it, and I'm going to kind of have to shop on the secondary market. That being said, Okomi probably should make maybe like a rental thing, like give them more stock. Although this is digital collectibles, this is not digital store, where we have an unlimited supply. It is digital collectibles, so there's a finite amount of things. And it would benefit them greatly if they say, hey, we're only making 2% per transaction in the secondary market. We could be making all of that money if we just happen to go and mint more of these things. So they're definitely, they've thought about that, but again, they are a digital collectibles company. So that is probably why. Like, they don't want it to go too big. That's not the vision that they have. The visions are going to be really crazy. So, my back. Moving on. Grandma Swallow says, is Omi land going to produce resources essence equivalent? We're not sure. We do know that, there's probably going to be some time. They said you're going to probably be a landlord. You could rent out your land. So, like Earth 2, I do think there's a lot of really good Earth 2 potential here, like in Essence, or like, your land like produces something, or ad revenue, like we would have in Earth 2, the same we would have here. Jameson Coffee says, as discrimination against country folks. What's discrimination against country folks? I forget where we were. Oh, right. Discrimination against country folks because the internet is not as good there. Yeah, that is rough. There's no better. Okomi can't give the best internet to, tech dead zones, in like the Midwest. And maybe Elon Musk can, but Okomi cannot do that. Maybe somebody else can. Class just says, don't put that peanut butter in jelly jar. Don't put the peanut butter in jelly jar. Good. Ergo says, you need a license to fish, but not to have a kid. Ooh, that is a good one. That is a good one that we should all think about there. Like, I was watching Gilmore Girls before this, right? And they made it seem like apparent that this girl Lane, she's like, I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. She had just gotten married. She doesn't know how to like raise a kid. She just does not have a very good relationship with her own mother. And it got me thinking, like, if somebody was coming up to me as I have a kid, like, I have no idea how to operate this thing. I'm not near qualified enough. I am on Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I'm eating cheese crackers. No crackers. I have the spray cheese, but that's how of a mess I am. I forgot to put the cheese on the cracker. So, moving on. James McCullough says, if kids are homeless, throw parents in jail, problem solved. It's not that simple. You take a kid that maybe is, what if they don't have parents? So that's, a whole big thing. Too, like, what if their parents are like, again, they're just trying. It's just not like there's. I saw this video of this one woman in California. It's like, I work full time, and it's just where she lives in California. It's just it could not make ends meet. Her and her daughter lived in their car, and a lot of other people did that too. It's like, okay, well, parents are. It's not really that parent's fault. I mean, maybe it is because, okay, well, do you have to? I didn't really know the whole story. It was like, okay, if rent's too high, like anywhere, you can't find anywhere because you need first and last month's rent, and you just don't have it. Okay, God, that sucks. Yeah. I'm not saying everyone needs like a white picket fence and a whole backyard, but a bed is probably a pretty good idea. Place to go to school, yeah, probably good to learn, see what you like and dislike. Probably community outreach centers then in those areas, especially areas that have a lot of gang violence. So if you have a place to go after school, if you have like things to do, and say, oh, hey, you don't have to be a banger, although that life could be very attractive when you have lots of that money, lots of drug money coming in. It's like, okay, well, how are you going to say no to that? Because if parents don't make that much, and okay, you could be the breadwinner. That's hard. But I think that a lot of these people, though, that if they can see past that, which I think they can, and say that, hey, we can go, and is that really the life? As again, if I do that, I'm just in that system. How to break that system is probably going to be more like after school programs or community centers. Just don't shut down. They're just funded, and not feel like the government. Oh, they're shut down now. They lose funding. It's probably funded by someone like me or someone like, I don't know. Just, I guess other people like me as well. So it's probably a good idea. Tacit Corp says, congrats on getting Lucky. I think he will be needed to be part of the Toy Tokyo Club in the Veveverse. Lucky is 5 away from 5,000 gems. Wow, I did not even know that. Good for Lucky. Good for me. Good for all of us. Moving on. I realized I haven't been on the app in a little while. Grandson Carver says, so undervalued. I'm pumped about my Labcorn 577. On floor 375. How? What's up, Ethan Youngberg? How's it going? Ethan Youngberg, you are new. Remember in what's it called? Avengers Endgame, where Tony Stark's talking to Captain America and Brie Larson. Captain Marvel's like, you're new, you're young blood, we need you. A bunch of old mules here kicking around some old ideas. Ethan Youngberg, what do you think? We need a younger person's perspective on this. What are us adults doing that are wrong, and how can we help? How could we better fix? I don't know. Maybe you have to be in the world for a little while to. It's like, well, I've been in Cambodia. I know the problems that are in Cambodia. Oh, I've been in Kuwait. I know the problems that are in Kuwait. And then just to not only do that, take your experiences and say, one, not to be so beholden to that. Like, oh, I have this personal connection with this little boy that I met from, wherever, and him and his family, and his dog or whatever. I want to use all the funds I can to help him. Okay, if you want to do that, you can, but that I feel there's bigger issues at stake here. I don't know. Would you sell a Todd to complete a Labbit set? Sets are good to have, but and if I could complete which set, and also am I selling a Todd to get like an ultra rare? Am I selling something that has 1,750 mints for something that has 888 mints? Okay, maybe. But that thing that has that has 888 mints, is that as coveted as my Todd, which has only 1,750 ever created? No more will ever be that way. So I think Todd is pretty undervalued. Even now at like $1,400, like really, like it's gonna be a lot more people than that. I think as again, digital collectibles. So as long as there are people collecting, and when you have oodles of people like David Yu saying yesterday that. On the Clubhouse, again, this is all on Clubhouse yesterday, saying that, yeah, there are like people that are forming ETFs, like raising billions of dollars to invest in NFTs. Oh, okay. Like even if we get a fraction of that coming to us, the first to market is always the ones that break on through to the other side. So Okomi is definitely that. First, I think we're just super lucky, and I'm shocked that God, we're gonna be so heckin' rich. I hope that they talk, and I hope that we can use the appropriate time to maybe, I don't know, try to help solve some of these things. That's what the whole stream is about. It says, not with Todd's birthday coming up. Mara says, I'm gonna make a little experiment, see how far I go. Just $25. Got a common today, sold that for 200. Gonna try my hand all the next drops and sell immediately, see how much I can come out with. That's what it is. That's what it's all about, Marius. That's what it's all about. It says, if it's a good chunk, I'm getting my first Omi with a part of that. Good for you. Task Court says, do you think there will be another Toy Tokyo New York secret rare like Lucky at Comic-Con? I would not put it past them. Bet your bottom. I will be live. I will be like reporting everything when that does happen. Now it'll be a little bit different. Says, since bought all the Labbits, what are you going to do? Hold for what purpose? Are you going to sell them? What's your goal? Well, the goal is to, I guess the ultimate goal is to try to make the world a better place. And I don't mean that like, oh, I'm going to be a good person with a plucky attitude, which, I can, it's, I can't not do that. It's really more about end goal would be, okay, how can you help a lot of these people in the world? Like it doesn't, what Steve Irwin said, what good is a gold-plated dunny to me? No, there's no reason for it. He wants, the freshest water, want to drink water right out of the lake. So I think people that are smarter, there are going to be a lot of people smarter than me. And in order to get that access to that, you're going to need to have people that, again, have access to the internet, that have access to food, and then they can contribute. And you'll see a bunch of people a lot smarter than me. And I can maybe, if I try to maybe become like an engineer, like again, if I wanted to, but then it's like, how many people could I really help with that? How much time is I going to create? And also, even if I do become an engineer, and I'd probably be okay at it, I'm not going to be the best engineer. Like there's limits to what my brain can do. There's got to be. I'm good at what I do, which is breaking down things, looking at things at first principles, and it's made me a lot of money. It's will make me tens of millions, and I'll continue to do that. But the goal would be to. What was the question again? Oh yeah, so for the Labbits, so for the Labbits would be, it's just to hodl them. Really, I'm just being all honest. Get as many sets as I can complete, because that will give me access to land in the get points in the Master Collector program, and then once I get that, once I'm getting as much land as I can get, I'll be like, okay, guys, I put in $1 million, $2 million into land in the VVverse, a bunch of Omi just letting ride. I'll just be like, okay, I will have fun with everyone. We will go and do live shows. I'll do constant updates, do the same show that I do, but at that point, I'd be like, okay, well, I guess at that point, I don't need to sell for the money. Like, what am I going to do? Sell my season Labbits 2 for, like $10,000? I put $3,000, I make $10,000. No, even if I could sell them, if the going rate is like, the going rate's like $30,000, $50,000, the only way I would really do it is just so I could get more money to go and just throw more into the fire, to get more, to make more. But it's not to buy and sell. Like if I could do that, when I see my end goal is when I see another good investment is to go in that, and I'll let you guys know when that is. Yeah. It says, since you bought all the Labbits, what are you gonna? Oh yeah, Derp. Ramsey says, FOMO'd in, so much stuff to do. Dude, I did too. I sold my Supergirl. My Supergirl is I had two. I have one left, and then I have the cheapest Rewind logo. The cheapest Rewind logo. It was 1.1K, or it was 1.2K. I have mine as 1.1K. Let's see if there's any cheaper. Nope, mine is the cheapest at $1,100. That is the cheapest that you can get. That is mine. It will go to a good cause. Most likely the cause that it will go to is because I can't complete that set. The reason why I'm selling this right now is because I cannot complete that set. It is that those gems, they only help me if I can complete more sets. So I should not worry about that. I probably should not have bought my ultra rare Dragon Girls I don't have any ultra rare Tokyo Dragon Girls. I should not have bought the common and the uncommon of those. I should have not even tried for the set. So that's my goals right now. Forest One says, one volcanic eruption puts more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere than humanity has since existence. Climate change due to humans is BS and just a way to scam people for money and control. Well, I think that Yeah, we've had several ice ages before humans ever got here. The What I know is that the world is a very old and mysterious place, and we've barely scratched the surface of what makes it tick. And again, we've had several ice ages before humans ever walked this earth. So to say that, oh, the next, I mean, are we doing the planet any favors by taking carbon in the ground and putting it in the air? Like, no, we're probably not. But does it? Does it? Again, Mount Vesuvius erupts, a dangerous igneous rock form, and what happens? Yellowstone happens, and then what happens to humanity? So I guess also make sure humanity survives. Make sure what if we have a second ice age? What if again the world is crazy, and again you're in the world, and the world is around the sun, but the sun's not stationary. The sun, I mean, it's not like it's just a rock in the center and we're all floating around. It kind of is, but at the same time, the solar system and everything's moving at a crazy amount of time. You have a whole bunch of just space radiation coming into you, coming into the planet. So yeah, again, the would have to be to ward off maybe like a second ice age. Okay, what happens? How to ward that off? Well, maybe if we go and we put some nukes at the at the poles. At that time, maybe okay, we could maybe I think we could do that for Mars too. Because also we might get a little taller on Mars. That'd be pretty fun because you have less gravity on Mars. So about 40% of the gravity. Moving on. Cigarette is undervalued. Dan Case is I'm curious to know what their regulations are on bots. Their bots are almost a non-issue. Surprised it's never been asked in AMA. There are, but bots are almost a non-issue. They did address this recently. DraftKings does it in random pool. What do you think? I think that I don't like bots. You can tell on each one of my things that I try on this phone. So you cannot say that it's not authentic. I don't use any emulators. I just use good old-fashioned that type of stuff. So I don't like them. I think that's cheating. But if you're really hard on someone, like, oh, you don't have good internet, and you're so like, you're just never gonna get there. It can't compete with it, and you want to use a bot. I'm never gonna be. I don't want to be to have the one that have that special super advantage. I want to be the one that overcomes that. So I would never do it, but that's just me. Brandy H says, I get super confused when I see people complaining about Veve in streams and a lot on Twitter. Nobody's forcing anyone to use the app. I just don't get it. If you dislike them, then don't use it. Yeah, I mean, I also think Okomi does have this responsibility where it is almost like a Disney World, like a Disney and Disney doesn't have to do this. They could be all for profit, which you could make the argument that, well, okay, a lot of it is, but no, a lot of the stuff that they do is not for profit. A lot of the stuff they do is just like they have profit and they could do some nice things with it. Like there was an Ask Reddit, like people who worked for Disney, like what are some secrets that you can say? And this guy that used to work for Disney, he said that there was this one, there's like a Make-A-Wish, whatever, like this like these two daughters, two sisters, they like just lost their parents in like a crazy like freak accident, and their aunt was like kind of unable to help, couldn't go on the trip, but they somehow won a trip through like a scholarship or whatever, and Disney said, hey, let us, you guys did were through a horrible tragedy, let us help. And they went through this whole thing where they gave them like they let them ride on the float, shake hands with Mickey and everyone, and they did it. Somehow these two girls that their whole life was just destroyed, they were smiling and they were laughing and like nothing else mattered. So that's really cool. Can you do that for everyone? No. But I think Okomi might have that same responsibility. I think Okomi might have that same obligation in a sense that, hey, no, I'm not saying that, to be completely fair, and say like, you can't be nothing. You don't want equal outcome. You definitely want equal opportunity, but equal outcome is definitely not desired. I know a super chat from Almo Medovich says, ever suffering on a constant basis, whether they know it or not. Only reliable solution is spiritual liberation through meditative insight into the illusion of the sense of being a self. Try to interpret that as best I can. Reliable solution: spiritual liberation through meditative insight into the illusion of the very sense of being a self. Like you're one, and trust me, I get that now. Where I'm on, like I said, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I'm seeing everything, and um, I guess slow suffering of others. I hope ward that off a little bit. If I can. But yeah. So Brandy and H, what you were saying is, I don't even know where you were up here. Just know it. Yeah. Oh yeah. So no, nobody has to use it. And I'm definitely not on the side. I try to not complain. My girlfriend has she thinks a little weirdly of me because I'll be in the Poconos, I'll be freezing, and I'll be shaking, and she's like, "Babe," I was like, "You cold?" She's like, "No, we're good." And it's like, "You're cold." It's like, "No, am I complaining? I'm not complaining." She's like, "How's that working out for you?" So I don't complain, but other people do, and that's if they need to just air their frustrations out, maybe that's what they need. Maybe they need an outlet. They need an outlet and air their frustrations. Cool. If they think that Okomi is giving them so much frustration that it's interfering with their lives and it's not worth it, then by all means walk away. But if you think that you're just frustrated because it's a game and you're not winning, well, neither am I. Most of these, and it is one of those things. It's a lottery. Most of these we're not going to get. Well, I'm not going to get any of the. I didn't get any of them this morning, which is fine. App crashed on me, so I'm right there with you. Right there with you guys. Right there with you, homies. That's because they're very open with their regulation bots. Yeah. Also, I feel like, sort of talking about Okomi, so I am so happy with the job. I'm just happy to be involved, and I think that this is such a good problem to have because there's so much people coming in with so much money. People saying "Hey, should I do this for that?" You make 3x your money, 8x your money, 10x your money. It's all good. It's all gonna be good. I don't think I would sell a secret rare, so I could get 500 editions of a common, wherever. I think because that's not as liquid. I don't want to become the store. I don't want to. But are you going to make your money? Yeah, absolutely. You'll make your money, but you'll you'll have to become a store like that. You have to take your money slowly but surely. So yeah, at the end of the day, whatever we buy right now, probably going to be worth a lot more in the future. As far as NFTs go, as far as Veve Okomi stuff goes. Scholars, there's more destruction to the environment caused by the drill of petroleum, not by the burning of it. I have not read all of the papers, all the literature. I've only, again, barely scraped the thing on the just effects of, what's that called? I forget, where you drill into the earth and it goes and gets, for the water. Fracking. I've only barely gone into that. I feel like if it's safe, then that's great. That's probably a really good thing to do. But if it is not safe, which I think that's where these big companies go wrong. Fracking by itself is not necessarily bad. You can go and do that if it's safe. It works out great, cool, good for everybody. But what they do is say the clear signs, the times where it is oh, hey, we're fracking in the wrong spot. We shouldn't be doing this. And so it's hey, our bad guys. It's no, it just doesn't happen. It's we try to cover it up. Oh my God, you are now you're evil. You're trying to cover it up. It's evil. So there's more destruction. Yeah. Howdy, what's going on? Journal 69 says, brand new because people are potato brains. There it is. How much Okomi needed to make 6 figures based off your Pride predictions? I have about 53,000 Omi. 6 figures. I think if you have 100,000 Omi, you'll probably have $100,000 in the future when we get to $1. I clearly strove for more, but you don't have to. If you say you want to diversify a little bit, that's up to you. I would not. I would strive for as much Omi as possible. That's what I'm doing. But I'm on a cheese and cracker diet here, and so I understand. This guy's a little weird. Well, and also be advised, guys. All of the best economic decisions, why I have as much money as I do right now. Yes, I'm a hard worker. Yes, I got lucky, but also because of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, because of tripping, and because of breaking things down to first principles and really exploring how my brain works and saying okay, well, why do people do things? And That's why I went all in on some of my companies that I had before. That's why I went all in on Tesla. That's why I went on Pokemon cards, and why I'm going all in on Okomi. Like, yes, I have tripped before and thought like, this is probably a good idea. The decision that I made was helped with psychedelics. I'm not saying that everyone do them. I'm not saying that, obviously consult a doctor or Sherpa, I don't know, beforehand. But most billionaires, and they'll admit to doing it. I think David and Dan are going to be billionaires in the future, and I think that they've probably microdosed. They've probably done stuff. They've probably done psychedelics, because to have this big a vision, it's just, if they didn't, that would surprise me. Because these types of big things, this disruptive industries, it's really hard to pontificate. Really hard to absorb your mind around without the use of them. So this is the only way that I can think of. Moving on. Maxwell Cook says, make an Earth 1 Chavez-topia, preferably not Antarctica. Make it completely solar powered. Oh, that'd be a good idea. I could try to do that. Meryl 69 says, Jameson's house China and communism has brought more people out of poverty than any. Oh, yes, agreed 100%. Capitalism is. I know there's a lot of people that just give us right. Oh, the 1%. Like, okay, well, I'm not the 1% yet, but I'm about to be, and I'm trying to help. But they say, oh, the horrible 1%. What the 1% does is like, again, when Tesla, they you're making sports cars for rich people. Well, how do they get the funding to make the safe cars for the normal everyday $40,000 car people? How do they do that? Well, they get the funding by rich people buying those luxury brand cars. How are they going to make space travel kind of like airline travel? By having a bunch of rich people do it first. Have a bunch of rich people do it, fund it, and then especially if you're going to space, big chance of dying. I would not. If you could offer me a trip to go to space right now, I'd be too scared of dying. I'd be like, I'll wait. I'll wait till it's more commercialized. I'll wait till it's like you can do it 10,000 times and I'll be fine. I'm good. I'm good with going to space right now. I do not want to do that. But yeah, so capitalism is the best. That's how. Again, you cannot, because of the World Health Organization in 2000 said like, hey, our goal is to have human poverty by 2015. Well, they did it by 2013, and the amount of people in abject and absolute poverty it lessened because of what capitalism was doing. So I'm a huge believer in capitalism, and I know, the 1%. You're right. There is a bigger difference between the 1% and everyone else, and that difference does grow every single year. You're absolutely right. But what does that do? That growth, okay, that helps fuel the rest of the economy. And I would much rather be a lower middle class person in 2021 than a millionaire in 1990. Why? Because AC wasn't everywhere yet. I didn't have internet yet. I am 100% okay with. I don't care if billionaires make billions. They don't pay any taxes. I mean, ideally, nobody should pay taxes. I do not like government. So much waste. But yeah, no, capitalism is probably the best thing that we have for innovation and for growth. And again, it solves problems. You have an issue, okay, we can solve it. Communism is generally not good. That is socialism. Communism has caused how many hundreds of millions to their death. Cyber says, hey, Labdicus says, Randy, when will you get Dragon Girl Ultra? I don't know. I probably shouldn't have gotten the common and uncommon as I have right now. So the other one, maybe when Omi moons, I don't take a little bit, next year. But I don't know. Veve Vision says, what about charity Veve Drop, where a majority of the proceeds go to the artist in impoverished area? Which is, again, I love the ideas of just helping people. Like, hey, let's put on like a. But it's got to be consistent. I don't want to just do a one-off thing where, it's good for this month. What about the next month? It needs to be a consistent thing. Build a community center and have that consistently funded. How to have it consistently funded? Okay, well, I'll just make more money. Like I do, I will. But I also need. I can't just do that with $100,000 and a plucky attitude. I can't. I could try to work that, and but it's easier to do these projects really well if I do wait a little bit and I have millions, which again should be right around the corner. Millionaire will not be far away. and then I can help. Like again, I have no, not that I want to live like this forever, but I have no, like, if this is what it takes, you say, hey, you have to live in this place forever, and you know what, and for you to, what, you know, as a compensation for you living in this place forever, a bunch of people, tens of millions of more people don't go hungry and they get educated, proper nutrition. Okay, that's what I got to do. Yeah, I'll do it, because that's probably a pretty good idea. But again, that's, I want to do this in a slightly more livable conditions, slightly better. Veve Vault says, what about Astro Tomic says, why is Secret Rare Labbit more valuable than the Rare Labbit? It's more editions of it. I think it's because the people that got the Secret Rare, they just never got one before. They didn't know what to do. There's just a whole mismanaging the market, and I think this is going to be the cheapest Secret Rare ever. I don't even know what it's at right now. Well, let's go to the market, shall we? Go to Labbit's Secret Rare, and let's see what they are. $800. Huh. Glad I got one for $7. Pretty much anywhere I bought these at. I mean, will they dip again? They might. Da Vinci Drop was a donation. Oh, very good. Yeah, see? Da Vinci Drop was a donation. We need more Da Vinci Drops. Cause Secret Rare Collectors Program, as far as you could go to the Thanos route. Well, I mean, I wouldn't disagree with Thanos if there were no other options. Like, hey, we fear extinction. Okay, but that's not what's happening. We're not fearing extinction right now yet. I think that we can. Again, that's one of the biggest things. Okay, well, how do we save humanity? Again, from something like an ice age or like whatever. Well, if we be multiplanetary, you know, if we're on, I think the great filter would be not only having a civilization on Mars, but also being a self-sustaining civilization on Mars, where, you know, if the rockets stop coming from Earth, can they sustain themselves? And I would like to hope that they could. So definitely do that while we can before we lose it, because there's a chance that what happened in NASA. So like again, after the space race to get, you know, then you have Sputnik, and then you have this after NASA, after Project Paperclip. What happened? Oh, after they beat the Russians, that was it. And we lost the technology? Get the fudge out of here. This is what happens in government things. You lose the technology. No. While you go and, you know, again, private people, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, people that are going to help solve those issues. Yeah, multiplanetary space is probably going to be the best thing for humans going forward. And I would say education, nutrition. I mean, nutrition is really for more making people like optimally, you know, performing. But I would say internet, power, water. But again, this is what the whole brain trust is for. Eric W says, I was looking at the total holders for Omi. It's only 143,000 hodlers. And, it has to be. Let me take a look, see. And we go to the internets, and why was I was looking up the term diffident. I don't know why. Modest or shy because of lack of self-confidence. Am I diffident? No. Why am I looking that up? Must have been a sober Chavez thing. I'm going to go and say, what was I looking up? Oh yeah, Omi hodlers. Omi wallets? Omi wallet holders. Okay. How many hodlers are there? Okay, Omi on the Go Chain Explorer here. We should be able to see how many wallets. Omi hodlers. Balances of accounts holding Omi tokens. Okay. So there can be 20 of these on one page. 25 of those individual accounts on one page. And out of 25 of those individual accounts, so 5736. So 5736 times 25 is 143,000 hodlers right now. Of that hold Omi. So you could have a little Omi, you could have a lot of Omi. There are 143,000. I guarantee you most of which are not. They don't hold a lot. So having 1 million Omi right now is doable, in my opinion. Veve versus Thanos, right? LOL. Terry Jones says, want to get rich by have fun working on do-it-yourself projects all day. That's true. I mean, if you want to get rich, just follow my advice. I honestly, if I had to do it all over again, I would do it. This is how I would do it. I would go and do the same thing over. I would live like a pauper, eating nothing but rice and beans, and I would invest every single penny. I would work every single hour, and I would, again, obviously I did that in my 20s, but you can still do it in your 30s. You do that to me right now, okay, I'll do it right now. I can't go to the military again because my body's just not there anymore. But other things, mind is willing, body, not so much. Body's not able sometimes. At least the injured way it is right now. In the future, when I'm healed, yeah, sure, it's fine. They needed me again, World War III. I don't even know. Does have a good ring to it. World War III veteran. Master says, I've got the whole dragon set. Nice. Lynn X says, new Earth 2 update again. Looks like they started to move faster. Oh, very good, very good, very good. And Lynn X has got probably the best EPLs in the business as far as Earth 2 goes. Says, Ice Age is all about control, just indoctrination. Well, that'll, again, whether it will happen with us, next Ice Age will probably happen with or without us. Are we helping it along? Maybe, but yeah, no, that'll happen at some point. And it has nothing to do with humans. That's just the way of the world. Every 10,000 years, 100,000 years, it happens. It'll happen again. Sharky Man says, I sold my Labbit S1 minus the backstab for the white backstab. I want both backstab together. What do you think? Well, that's a lot to take in. Minus the backstab for the white backstab. Want to go with both backstabs? Yeah, go. Get a set. Yeah, why not? Get both. Get both. Just as we've gotten past the Van Allen belt. Marcus Jones says, when we are at the 50 Cent party, we can all chat theories on how long we have actually be on this world, lost technology, and what else is out there with a side of whiskey. Oh, can't wait for that. I can't wait. Because again, a lot of, well, I mean, what's the difference between us now, and us in, like the next couple years? I mean, it's several $1 million, but our mind, like, what are we doing with that? Like, what are we? Yeah, you could have a very good life. I guess this is more towards like, hey, how can we help though? How do we? And kind of give back. I think we need probably more engineers, but maybe also more psychologists. Also, be like, hey, are we doing the right thing? I called my friend Ariana before. I was like, hey, I don't actually know where to put my money. Like, I want to do conservation, and I will still do that because of prior obligation. I've told people I will, so I will. But after that, let's say that costs a couple $1 million to do, and I have tens of millions of dollars afterwards. What do I do with it? She's like, I don't freaking know, Chavez. It's like, oh, okay, well, she's pretty morally centered, psychologist, like, okay, well, probably good way to start. So I'm trying. Renee says, we need to go somewhere with more gravity and start training like Goku. I would love that. Oh, get me when I was 20 years old. Oh, yeah, I would totally do that. Mara says, hopefully they will adjust drop size to account for increase. Not one-to-one, of course, so we still have scarcity, but it's getting ridiculous how hard it is to get a drop now. I agree. It is very hard, and it's only going to get harder. It is not going to get easier. We do not have the time stone, and we are not going to, go back in time. It is only going to get harder for these. We were blessed when what we did. We're still blessed now. We are still blessed now. We have a better chance now of getting these drops than we will in the next, years to come. That being said, this is a collectibles company. They have to keep things scarce. They do. Because it is collectibles. If it was just a Disney store, that'd be great, but it is not. It is a collectibles company first, and other things second. Love that Jordan example. Oh, thank you. Amo Mimidovic says, everyone is suffering on a constant basis, whether they know it or not. The only reliable solution is spiritual liberation through meditative insight into the illusion of the sense of being of self. I can kind of interpret what that means. We're all suffering, yes. But, I mean, some more than others. I mean, is my back destroying me right now? And is my lower back hurt? My shoulder hurts? And my, yes, absolutely. But I can totally, once I heal, I can move past that. Lots of other people are suffering more so than I. So I'm thinking, like, how do I help? Veve Vision likes the stream. Maxwell Cook says the mask tomorrow morning is going to come harder than the Kang comic. What are your thoughts on the mask? I like it. I want to get one. I want to complete the set. So I'm going to complete the set. It's going to cost me a couple $100. Let's see if my... Nope, I am not. I'm not even in the app. I forgot to remine Pi earlier today. I'll do that after I do what I'm doing right now. So I only have $17 in the account. The only way I can get more is if I sell that Rewind logo, which is for $1,100, which is the cheapest on there right now. Will I go to $1,000? Will I go to $900? Yeah, maybe. Could I sell one of my hymns? I have. Oh my god, my back. I have 3 hymns. I could. Yeah, probably should. I probably should sell those. More of those. Oh. What other sets do I complete? What do I do? I don't know. Carlos Carvalho says, I'm guessing you already know, but yesterday there was 365 million only burned in the Veveverse. No Veveverse yet, so bullet. Yeah, dude, this is insane. We've gotten so lucky with this so far. This is incredible. And again, how many hundreds of millions are we burning without this? Ow. Justice Fracking, that's the word I was looking for. Chucky Man says, I love bananas. My member says, if you're fracking, the earth begins shaking, it's probably your fault. Oh, fault, as in fault lines. Yes, probably. But again, there are safe ways to do that as well. I'm not total naivety to think that, oh, hey, it's only 100% evil. It's not. It's just where you do it, and cheese crackers are so good. They're stale. And I know that they're getting stale. But it's like, they're still edible. Like, I'll still eat them. No, I don't know. I remember once, I was telling my friend Megan this, that I was over at my cousin's place, and my uncle was just like, hey, let me see those Teddy Grahams, because like we had Teddy Grahams or whatever. And he eats them, and he's like, oh, they're stale. You don't want them. So I throw them out. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, I didn't say anything. I was like, I'll still eat them. Like, they're still Teddy Grahams. Like, I don't have Teddy Grahams at my house. I will take stale Teddy Grahams on top, so I will still take, you know. What about? I am not a big believer in waste, like, at all. Do I like fish sticks? I love fish sticks. You like putting fish in your mouth? I'm not Kanye West. Jeff Bezos microdose. I'm sure he has. I'm sure he's, yeah. And I knew it. That Elon Musk did. He finally confirmed it the other day when somebody asked. He's like, yeah, generally, I think people should generally be into micro. And yeah, I'm positive that he does. I'm positive. I'm sure that Dave and Dan have done it as well. Because this type of thinking, this type of innovative, disruptive thinking for Okomi probably happened while they were on a trip. I'm just throwing that out there. We love them for it. I'm saying most of the very successful people are eating psychedelic mushrooms. A lot of billionaires, yes. A lot of them have and they will continue to do so. Says, well said about capitalism, thanks. Grandmaster Wallace says, the future is all virtual. Government auto farms and other land used for housing. Nothing matters anymore on virtual stuff. Very possible. He's going to be the big winner. That's the thing. There is no one, oh, this is virtual reality. You have several. You have the virtual reality of Earth 2. You have one of virtual reality of the sandbox. You have it of Decentraland, Upland, V-Park, you know. And then you're going to have this, the Veveverse. Like, there's no one. Like, one's going to be greater than the others. Who knows which one? I don't know. Guy Navarro says, better capitalism, the DAO. DAO. It's because communism is the preferred form of the government for the oligarchs. And you can easier to control. Sharky Man, I respect it. I want to make the world a better place. Transfer me a hymn and I won't kick a dog. That is quite hysterical. But no, under the influence or not, I will not make that decision. Bug City says, as soon as we can cash out, I'm quitting my 9 to 5. My vault is, vault's worth 50 grand. Get it. And that, your vault is worth 50 grand right now. Imagine what that's going to be worth in a year from now. Lots of good stuff. Ruben Testar says, what is your phone, like model phone? Galaxy S, 10X, 10, whatever. Hey man, I don't think 50K is enough to quit a job. Well, maybe they have other stuff. Maybe they have other investments on top of that. Or maybe he said 9 to 5. Maybe he would work a part-time job, just tending bar. Which is fine. Make good money doing that. Ronald says, there's too many people on the freeway when I'm trying to go to work. That's enough of a reason, Team Thanos. I agree. That is why we can only build so many infrastructures up, but if we can tunnel down, tunneling, I think boring companies are very, very good. We should get more boring companies, and we should do underground tunneling. That will make things a lot quicker, a lot easier, a lot better, more better. This is a bunch of Nazis that migrated to the States from paperclip. There was. We needed them to do their scientific work. Company says, "Ow, what does that include? People who hold WOMI?" I don't know what that means for people who hold WOMI. We're gonna have to wait for directions from the company. Because I love that the common Labbits from today is more expensive than all the other ones. The ultra secret rare, I picked the wrong horse in that race. Maybe we did. Taxi Corp says, talking about equality, shouldn't Belina, the Murmurcorno, be animated like Ritmo? It'd be a nice gesture of the women to Veve. So, I mean, well, Belina is a lot less, a lot more mints. So it probably would never take a Ritmo, and you're gonna have the Ritmo gang gonna be after you for that. Lisa A says, "Oh, I love you too, Lisa H." Maxwell goes, "My opinion drop that rewind to 1K before they start releasing info for next week." Well, yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to liquidate it as best I can. Yeah, drop it to 1K is what you're saying. Probably a good idea. Ariel Rala says, "Should I sell my low mint rare Throg for a common Labbit?" Well, you have a low mint rare Throg, and that's hard. What gives you more joy? It depends what you're doing it for. If one gives you more joy, do the other one. This is, I will still love noodles when rich. Yeah, it's still like if I wanted to, I could go and I could have a steak dinner. I could do whatever, but I got easy cheese and I got saltines, so that's what I like. Moving on. Dan probably smokes because he started a company selling it. That's also true. Dan had his successful in weed in that field, so he's definitely no stranger to at least the green toke. Matt Todd says, "Will Veve slow down? Spending $100 a week on drops is unsustainable." Well, plenty of us have spent more than that, and no, it is not. It is not sustainable. I'm done. The only ways I can actually continue these drops is by selling the extras of what I have. I had an extra Supergirl, sold. I have a rewind, only one of those, but I'm not collecting that set, so that's selling. The only other things that I have to sell, outside of physical Pokemon cards, which I think I'm going to need to live on now, because I don't have that much money anymore, is going to be my hymns. So I'm selling the hymns, and that's the only way. I am not taking more physical money and putting into NFTs. If I take money from other NFTs, that's fine, but I just don't have it. Regardless of what I do, I could sell every single Pokemon card that I have, make an extra 30 grand. Might put a little more into Omi, but that is what I need to live on. Like the rest of I could live on a lot less. I could literally live on a couple grand a month, and that's fine. And I should invest the rest because I can cash out once January comes. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll talk. Sharman says all companies are boring except Okomi and Pokemon. Heck yeah. Omion says Omi came through in ICO, which will make it a security. I am worried. I wouldn't worry yet. They're very, very above board in what they do, so I'm very confident that they're doing everything above reproach. I'm not worried about anything yet. Matt Top says, do you think secret rares will have any additional value other than being called a secret rare? Just their additions. The addition size will be a big one. No Guitar says, don't you think the green military Labbit is cheap right now? Got me a murder one. I think they're all cheap compared to what they can be in the future. But I'm caught up on comments. I don't know if this really helped me or not on my journey to try to see what the best way to... well, it's good to bounce off ideas. Says, you did it. I caught up. I did. Thanks, Maxwell Cook. Yeah, I need more thoughts on how to... and obviously, being on Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds in my one-bedroom apartment with not all this money yet, but that probably going to have in the next coming years. But I do want to have this conversation more with more regular people, because again, you have a bunch of people that's maybe they think they know what it's like, and they don't know what it's like. It's like a bunch of rich people. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna donate this, and then the money that the charity that they invest in, it doesn't really do anything. I don't know. You think people will do Pokemon? Absolutely. Probably next year though. Miles Alexander says, you said you have 3 hymns and you don't want to sell because it's still undervalued. It's very undervalued in my opinion. But if you sell one and you have gems for drops and sets, I think that in the long time you will not lose that much. And that's a good point. I only have to keep up the buying sets until the Veveverse launches. When the Veveverse launches, that is when I will have to go and say, I can say like, oh, I can get all this land, and then I could stop collecting all these sets. I have all this Omi, could collect all this land. So I really only have to keep the machine going until that, but that's 6 months away. But I only have to really keep it going for the next 3 months, because in January I can take some Omi and I could sell it and I could live and I can not eat cheese and crackers. Matt Todd says, Sharky, yes, I think they will if you look up the connections of the Okomi team. Yeah, I am 100% my body positive that these guys will have not only Pokemon but some of the other really amazing brands. Like, well, we have Warner Brothers, so they're probably gonna have Harry Potter. We have MGM, so we're gonna have the Hobbit series also. Yeah. And as the team, only one link says, oh my god, the Rainbow Lab is almost $400 higher than accept. So people, again, do not underestimate the power of cute things. 1, it's the first animated one from him that we have, and 2, it's heckin' adorable. Well, you know, make like 10,000 of something, or again, make 1,000 of something and 50 of something. Well, if the 50 something it looks ugly and the 1,000 something is really cute, you're gonna get the masses to buy 1,000 something a lot quicker than you buy the 50 something that's not cute. Just the humble opinions of a man eating spray cheese on crackers. Oh god. All right, moving on. What else we got here? I want animated Goku. Oh, that would be so great. Animated Goku. I also hope they do old movies as well. Like, who's this? Like, yes, they have new movies and stuff like Spider-Man and No Time to Die, and it's cool and it's sexy. But what about old movies like Pretty in Pink? You know, 16, and you know, for these young guys like Star Helix and Ethan Youngberg. You know, like Molly Ringwald. I don't know who she is, but she is my generation's like Audrey Hepburn. I know you don't know who that is either, but I'm telling you guys, there is a market out there for. I don't know, they've done it for Ghostbusters. What about like Breakfast at Tiffany's? You know, what about This Property is Condemned? Like Natalie Wood, like Mickey Rooney dressing up as an Asian for 4 minutes in a horrendously racist thing has got to be worth a lot of money. Google Breakfast at Tiffany's Mickey Rooney racist landlord guy. It's so bad. Yeah, animated Goku Kamehamehas. Oh, that'd be so cool. That'd be really fun if you had an animated Goku Kamehameha, like going against like a Lucario or a Mewtwo, like, you know, a Force Ball or something along those lines, a Dark Energy Ball. Cosmo said, only 0.001 do what you do in order to succeed. That's true. And again, I got lucky. You can do what I did, and you can work 80 hours a week. You can live in very not good conditions, and you can invest everything. But okay, well, what are you investing in? What I invested, what worked, you know what? No, now it's time. Use me. I can beat the market. I've consistently done that. I will. Until I can't. I will. Now, that being said, if you're going to invest in a fund that has the ability to say, like, oh, again, what do I do in a bear market? I lose just as much as everybody else. Some other people that have the skill be like, oh, this is why you short some positions when you see things going down. You sell out, you short other positions. They make money in bear markets. I don't lose any because I don't sell, but I don't make any money either. What I do is I see where the best times are to buy. In bear markets, and again, pandemic last year, what was going to rise? What did I know was going to rise? Disruptive, innovative industries like Square, like ARK Invest, Bitcoin, Tesla. God, Tesla, that everything went into Tesla. And guess what? I retired at 30. So, but use me. Right now, I think the answer is Omi. And again, it's not financial advice. Clearly, I'm on all the psychedelics, or at least one of them. But no, like, that's what I would do. If you don't know where to invest, I guess you can do an ETF fund, but that's, by the S&P 500, not really going to give you, like, again, I did all of this, putting every single penny I had in other investments, knowing that that could all go away. The 8 months that I spent working, it all goes away. Everything that I have could all go away. Omi going to zero, it all goes away. Okomi being nothing. If Okomi was right now, Thanos snapped. I have no NFTs. I have no Omi. I have a couple of Pokemon cards worth 10 grand, maybe. With the box, maybe 30 grand. What do I do? I'm going to go back to work. I'm going to sell everything so I get a bunch of capital. I'm going to go back to high risk funding business because I know what I can do can beat the markets consistently every single time. Every single time. Clem A says, Kozlik mentioned in the AMA yesterday that his favorite lab is Rainbow Lab. Oh, maybe that's why. Dude, these crackers are so good. My back. I don't know what I did to my back, but I will figure it out. Another fun fact, before the Marvel drops, someone on Okomi said Veve was almost 50% female base. Unicorno, Powerpuff Girls, etc. very popular. Now, that being said, maybe they have female base in their things, but most people into NFTs in general, science, technology, engineering, and math, is men. And I'm not saying that that's because they're better or worse than women, or women are better or worse than men. I'm saying that's where women in general, are interested in people. That's why you see a lot of women teachers, that they teach other people. Psychologists, they work one-on-one with people. Where a lot of men tend to be interested in things. Things are scalable. Like NFTs. So in general, right now, we are going to see mostly men. But I agree with the addition of, again, we have the LOL MGM brands for, bringing in, girls for this. Again, I don't really know of any grown man that's going to want to play with an MGM doll. Maybe say oh, I have this super secret rare one, but no, a lot of it's going to be girls that want it. It's going to be cool. I can't wait for a Millennium Falcon NFT. Why? Because I'm still a boy. Am I a man? Yeah, but yeah, I still want a Millennium Falcon thing that I could go take pictures with. I want to dress up like Han Solo. Why? Because that's still heckin' awesome. Yeah, so girls with Powerpuff, but even back in the day, Powerpuff Girls, I feel like, even though we don't want to admit it, a lot of dudes were watching. That was a kind of a girl show, but that was more like an intersex show. Both sexes could watch that show. Maybe it was a little girly, but man, that was awesome. And they did some wicked stuff to Mojo Jojo. Now, granted, he did steal their cotton candy or something, but his brains were out. It was disgusting. It was wild fun to watch, but wildly violent. Sorry, what were we talking about? So good. I love redheads. I love redheads too. Redheads are great. Ultra Instinct Goku has going to be the ultra rare. It's only fitting. That would be that would be great. But it says nice midday week live stream. Mid-weekend live stream. We're just talking here, just having fun. They said in Women X Veve interview that they forgot the decimal and it was really 4.5% and not 45%. Oh, okay. That kind of makes sense. Of course, it's talking about being lucky. The secret rare lucky is now 3 away from 5,200. What did lucky cost you? Don't mind me asking. I got him for 3,200. Not too long ago. It's a week ago. So, hooray. What do you think lucky will be worth on OpenSea? Oh my god. 5 figures easy. Here's what I'm thinking. OpenSea is just a conduit to get more people in the space. Get more people. Oh, what is Veve? And we got a bunch of people. But what if it's not that way? What if we're not using OpenSea? What if OpenSea is using us as they do a lot of volume, but they do a lot of volume on okay artwork. We have premium digital collectible artwork that nobody else has. They're not minting more. They can't mint more. And they give it all to us. They give us all the power. Sure, they take a piece of it. Fine. These can be... Jesus. These could be worth... A bunch of these could be worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions. But it's just... Yeah. Terry Jones says, I did the grind and lost a butt ton of money. Still working hard, but a lot more wiser now. Invest in stuff I can sell back mostly now. I had a bunch of clients that did that with, car stuff. They get, invest in equipment. Oh, so they can get a lift so they can work on more cars. And, they do that type of stuff, which is good. Yeah. But that being said, I've been punched in the face before. 2020. When it told all of my clients, hey, the government said you cannot work. And they said, okay, well, I can either pay this, nice brown guy back or I can feed my family. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I can't even do anything. I couldn't even do anything at that point. Couldn't blame them for what they were doing. They defaulting on their debt. But yeah, I've been punched in the face before, so pretty good now. Black Magic says, I watched the Powerpuffs. I ain't afraid to admit it. Yeah, same. It's so weird, too, because I was like... I wasn't even, like... Yeah, you, watch it, secretly in your room, but... So weirdly, I thought, no, it's for girls. I shouldn't be watching it. And I would be watching something else, and I would secretly want to watch it. And, nobody else was around. I could have watched it, but I didn't. For some stupid reason, I was like, no, it's for girls. But I could have watched it and could have enjoyed it, and I didn't. I was just, kids are so stupid. We're so dumb. Matt Todd says, when OpenSea hits, people who are holding huge ETH bags are going to open in. I agree. They're going to ape in hard. I think technology, people to save more than they spend and to consistently invest would help the most people. It's hard for people not to go for the instant gratification. I do agree with that as well. I mean, again, you give somebody right now that has never had $1,000 in their bank account, give them $5,000. What are they going to do? Man, what could I buy with this? I could get a car. I could do this. They're only thinking about spending. It's the proper education. How can you make that money last? One, how can it grow? Give me an extra $5 million. I'm not buying a mansion right now. I'm investing it more to how it can grow so I can help more people. Now, again, if you want to say hey, you know what? If your end goal is a mansion, you worked hard your whole life and you're a good person and you just want to, at the end of the day, just want to relax, play some bocce ball, sip a few drinks, and you got the money to do it, by all means. God bless you. Go do it. And yeah, sure, I'll do that along the way too. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like you really gotta kind of want to give back. At least that's for me. That's what this whole thing is about. Baby Darkling says that's the hope. Matt Top says OpenSea is going to be Mutable X as well. Soon. Maxwell Cook says, got my lucky for $90. Oh my god, what did you sell it for, Maxwell Cook? Because you wish I knew to hodl better. Again, any of these things, as long as we're selling and to grow our collections, that's fine. That's fine. Because they're all going to grow. They're all going to grow. I mean, yeah. It's I sold my Journey into Mystery Secret Rare because I wanted a Harley Quinn. And I got the Harley Quinn, and that Harley Quinn went from $5,000 to $10,000. So I'm very happy I got that Harley Quinn. Because even if I held on to the Secret Rare, that Secret Rare would not have been enough for me to get a Harley Quinn. So, yeah. But again, the Secret Rare wasn't enough at the time. It was just enough in conjunction with the gems that I had to get the Harley Quinn. Dylan says, we need to spike the Kool-Aid at these only parties with Lucy. No! There are some people that would probably not do so well on it. And you definitely don't want to drug people. That is bad. Bad. I mean, if you want to do it to me, I guess, and you want me to be your guinea pig, okay, for in the name of science, I'll do it, but don't do it to anyone else. Not a good idea. Terry Jones says, I was traumatized by how they tortured Mojo Jojo as a kid. Now, to their credit, Mojo Jojo was a bad guy. He was trying to steal their stuff. But, oh my god. Yeah, they murdered him. They tortured, yeah. Brandy Ann 8 says, I think the best thing you can do is put it where you will feel the most fulfilled. A good idea. Animals. Asaya says, you think everyone will be able to stake Omi? Yes, Yes, Asaya, but staking will not be like other staking. It'll be like, oh, I'm going to lock it up for 60, 90 days or whatever, and I'm going to get, 2% a year or 3% a year. No. No, we will stake our OMI and we will get rewards in the Veveverse, whatever that may be. Whatever that may come, that is what we'll be able to do. Staking will not yield more staking, or I'm sorry, staking OMI will not yield more OMI. It will give us perks in the Veveverse. So they are really betting it all. They're like George Bush about to risk it all. They are. Anyone seen that meme? Please tell me somebody else has seen that meme. They are risking it all on Veveverse. They're right up to right now. It's a success. It is a big success. Same thing as they're like Tesla in 10 years ago. Okay, well, the Roadster worked out really well, so then we need to build the Model S, and then as the success of the last one goes into their success of the new one, and as long as they can do that, they can keep driving the cost down to make electric cars which are safer and more affordable to everybody. But it has to be successful, and they're taking their success of Okomi and the NFTs, and they're laying all that on the line, and they're putting it all into the Veveverse. So either it's going to be this amazing, brilliant thing, and we're all going to be trillionaires, probably millionaires, and decamillionaires. Or, hey, you know what? We got lucky when we did, and the Veveverse is a crap out. But it's. I believe that it will not be. I believe that it will be something crazy and big. Facebook itself, when they say we're a metaverse company, another billionaire that has. Again, he could have stopped at his little millions. He could have stopped when he had a couple 100,000 people and he just wanted to sell ads, indiscriminately. But he didn't. He knew. He's like, oh, hey, I can do this. I can leverage this out, and I could acquire WhatsApp. I could acquire Instagram. I could acquire all these different things. And now, what is this genius billionaire Mark Zuckerberg doing? What does he declare Facebook as? A metaverse company. What is this happening right now? Metaverse. I think we are in the best position. Okomi is in the best position to have the best amount of to be number one. Asaya says, OMI goes up. Would you rather stake OMI, Veveverse, or ADA? The only reason why I would rather stake OMI is so that I could get advantages on getting land in the Veveverse. Because I know the land that I put 10 grand, 100 grand, however much into, I could whatever I spend is going to increase so much fold in the future. That's why. So that's the only reason. As far as like monetary value here right now, sure, Cardano, CRO, Binance, whatever. Sushi Swap, I think gives you 70% a year, whatever. But I think the right call is to take some of my OMI, stake it, lock it up for I don't care how many years, just to get me a chance at getting this really good land in the Veveverse, just so I could burn more OMI. I will spend and burn that much millions of OMI for specific land points because I believe that land in the future will yield a lot more than I put into it. So I would, yes, OMI staking still, yes, for me. So Brandy A says, yes, it seems like animals for you is where your passion is, and fulfilling passion is what it brings peace. It is, and I'm good at that. I was a veterinary assistant when I was younger, and my girlfriend's a veterinarian, and so I think that runs deep with us. I think also in our hearts, where again, we all grew up on Steve Irwin. Maybe not some of you younger folk, but most of the rest of us, yeah, that he was just what he was doing. He was a rock star without being a rock star. And I do want to. Well, someone kind of crazy needs to take his place, so I will partner and I'll try to do my best that way. Drew Seller says, I'm 24. I was looking to buy a house last year, had 20K for a down payment, and invested in crypto stocks and Veve. Now worth closer to 100K in less than a year. HODL. Drew, I'm so happy that that's what you decided to do. I'm so happy that instead of going into, which again, if that's what you want, if some people are just like, no, I want a house and I want to raise a family in that house, and that's your idea of serenity, and that's perfect, by all means, do what makes you happy. But if you want money, that is not the best. Houses are not at all. Maybe if you have, again, we were talking, me and Henry Pagliuca, the guy that has as much OMI as I do, but he also has the wicked coolest NFTs out there as well. Has a lot more money than I am, more successful than I am. He's like, yeah, no, like what I do, like land, like what are you gonna do? You know, take $5 million and buy all this land and make what, you know, an extra $500,000 a year, you know, income. It takes you 10 years just to reach that 5 million that you put in. Yeah, there's no it is not good. It is not land, most likely, in my opinion, is not a good investment for what we can what others can do in place of that. So I'm super glad that you decided to go Drew Seller and invest in crypto, and now your 20K is worth 100K. I'm super glad, and yeah, I hope you hodl, and I wish nothing but success for you and the family. Brandon says, yeah, animals is that is where my passion goes. Dylan says, Pride Gang 20,000, here we come. Will probably happen soon enough. VV Darklink says Pride. Hooah. Drew Seller says Pride to them. I hope you got one, Drew Seller. Games says, I sold my Captain America common, uncommon, rare set to get the 007 poster set. Was that smart? Captain America common, uncommon, rare to get. Well, you completed a set, and that, I mean, both of them will go up in the future. So yeah. And so I hope I was clear when I said Omi goes up. I would rather stake Omi just because of the opportunity it gives me in the VVverse. And again, we don't know. I mean, a universe really, like, again, Sandbox and places in, like, they're successful. You know, there are places like, not Earth 2, although Earth 2 is definitely successful in its own right. But there are other places like Second Life, where, yeah, you can make a living at that, and places like Sandbox, and places like Decentraland, you pay this much amount for it. Oh, guess what? Land is worth this much now. Just because of where it is. But they're successful, but they're not like, nobody's reached that number one, like, oh, this is it. And I think Okomi is in a unique position, and they're uniquely positioned in order to win the decade. NFT collectibles already won the decade. Not even a choice. Not even a hard call. Like, second place is so far back in the rearview mirror, they need a telescope to see it. But for the metaverse, we actually don't know. Like, Facebook could come out with something that is really cool. Amazon and Facebook could fusion and they could come out with something with the metaverse, and maybe just Epic Games comes out with something that's really cool. And, you know, Sony, Microsoft, you know, whatever. And maybe we don't get it, but I'm willing to bet that we are. Again, Omi and the NFTs already perfect, fire. But I'm willing to bet a lot of that on the VVverse, on land, uniquely positioned land in the VVverse. So yeah, that's, again, just where I'm coming from. Steve Tulobi says, hi there, relatively new on VV. I live in Europe and purchase gems in euros instead of getting my gems in the equivalent in euros. I always end up getting it equivalent to US dollars. Yes, that is, unfortunately, that's just what happens. You go in there and you spend money, and you don't get it in euros. You get, because one gem is equal to $1 US dollars. It sucks, but if that's what you want to do, if that's what you got to do right now. It's just a unfortunate tax cost of playing the game, and it sucks. You'd say, like, hey, that's too much, it's not worth it, and by all means. But if I were in that position, I'd say, like, oh, I don't care. Again, my 350 gems cost me $380. If I had to pay $450 for 350 gems, I would still do it. Most likely at that point, okay, well, I should probably just take this and put it into Omi. Yeah, I should probably do that. But I like these NFTs. I'm a collector. They're fun. So yeah, Gerardo Preciado says, is it true that the first to be able to buy land in the Vverse will be the oldest in the application? I don't know. We're not sure yet. Matt tells us, why will land be so valuable in the Vverse? Yes, there will be a limited supply. It'll be a finite amount. That's why people are going to spend so much money on it. What is VV doing to resolve the issues with the foreign exchange rate? I don't think there's not much that they can do right now. But I will bring that to an AMA, their next AMA, next week or the week after. B. Darling says, hey, Randy, thanks for streaming. Hi, Dashy. Oh, woof, woof. Terry Jones says, real estate is debt until someone actually pays for the property. Many real estate guru act like they're making millions. Really in debt until hopefully someone pays it. Never liked real estate. I mean, also, if you have real estate, you could borrow against it. You can say, like, oh, hey, I have this much equity in this house. I can borrow, and you can use real money. So there is uses to it, but it is not for me as a business model unless it's paid off Really, yeah, same. Anyway, guys, it's probably gonna be it for me. Oh, we did kind of get way off course here with the helping. I did want to help. And then it kind of went into a other stream. But I love you guys. I'll be back tomorrow with the stream. I was just trying to enjoy my trip, trying to say like, oh, hey, what can I do? Help the world. Still gonna be thinking about that. So if you have any ideas, let me know. All right, I love you guys. Goodbye. I'll see y'all later. Meow, 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 meow.